Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another meal prep video. Now I did a little bit of pre-prepping so you didn't have to watch me chopping and everything. So I have all my vegetables, everything pulled out, everything ready to meal prep. I'm just going to meal prep a couple of lunches and a snack. So let's go ahead and jump right into the first thing is going to be like some Philly cheesesteak wraps that I'm going to have for lunches and dinners. So I'm going to use this quick steak, and then I also have these steak fajitas in my freezer that I need to use up. And then we have some pepper and onion blend. So super easy. These quick steaks are so easy. You just heat your pan up on medium high and make sure the pan is pretty hot before you put the steaks in there. Now, these come with 3 of these blocks, but I can't fit all 3 in my pan. So I just put 2 in there, and then you'll see that I will just cook those up. So you just cook them on one side for about 30 seconds to a minute or so, just to kind of get them a little bit, cooked on that one side. They are frozen solid, but they cook super, super quick. So I just kind of wait till they're just kind of brown on one side, and then I'll flip them over. And then they just kind of start breaking up after that. So you can see here, they're kind of brown right there. And then they just really start to thaw out super quickly, and they just kind of break right up, and you can just heat them up. So then after I get those ones, I'm going to add in some of this hamburger Montreal. I like the Montreal steak, but I only have a little bit left. I'm going to use that for dinner tonight. So I'm using the McCormick hamburger seasoning, which is really good as well. I need to get some more of that Montreal steak because that's my favorite with like Philly cheesesteak type stuff. So now I'm just going to push that other meat kind of off to the side so I can get this other kind of little patty cooked through. But like I said, these cook up in just like maybe 5 minutes at the most. But I do feel like I have to put a lot of seasoning on them because I do feel like they're a little bit bland. So just be careful of that. You may want to make sure you add a lot of seasoning. Now I did put some of those fajita steak strips in the microwave while I was cooking these up just to kind of thaw them out, and then those are already cooked through, so you don't really have to make sure they're cooked through, but I just wanted to kind of thaw them out a little bit before I tossed them in here with the meat. So I am going to cook this all the way through before I add in the veggies because the veggies are frozen and I don't want to cool down the meat when it's not cooked all the way. Now, I wasn't sure how much of this pepper and onion blend I was going to use. I ended up using the whole bag. You do have to kind of watch with these. Sometimes you get stems, and sometimes you get like that. And you'll see here I did find one, so you just kind of have to watch it. But there is nothing wrong, you guys, with buying frozen vegetables. I know a lot of people think, oh, they're not as good as frozen, as fresh. But yes, they are. A lot of doctors and nutritionists and dietitians will tell you buy frozen if it's usually more economical. So for me, like bell peppers this week were so expensive at the store. One red bell pepper was going to be $1.50, where this entire bag of peppers, onions was $1.97. So you'll see here, I got a little stem. So you just have to be careful of that. So I end up using the full bag because I do like extra veggies in my Philly cheesesteak. So you guys, definitely, like I said, this was the more economical way to go, and there's just going to be no waste, and you don't have to chop them all. So I think I'm definitely going to take this route from now on. So I'm just going to put a cover on there just so the veggies get all nice and softened. So you see here we have our Philly cheesesteak. I'm going to put them on the La Bantarita carb counter tortillas, and then I'm going to use a Laughing Cow cheese wedge, and I'll probably either heat the kind of wrap up in a pan or put it in the air fryer. Next up, we're going to make a kind of a Caesar chicken salad. So you have some Greek yogurt, some chicken. We already have some celery and red onion chopped up, onion, salt, everything but the bagel seasoning, some Parmesan cheese, and this Parmesan Caesar Lighthouse dressing, which is so good. Now, you guys, I know a lot of people don't like canned chicken, so use whatever kind of chicken you want. For me, what I do is I open up the can of chicken, I strain it, and then I just make sure it's really, really dry, and I have no problems with it, but I know some people do not like canned chicken. So, and also I do tend to rinse it. That way it's not as salty because I do kind of notice that it's a little bit saltier. So I'll rinse it and then just let it strain, and then you can see here how dry the chicken is, but you can use shredded chicken, whatever you want to use. So get your chicken of choice. And then I am going to do I did a 1/4 cup of plain non-fat Greek yogurt. Again, you can use mayo if you prefer. And then I'm going to do 1 serving of this dressing. So that's 30 milliliters. I think end up going a little bit over, but you want to do a serving of the dressing. And it took me a little bit to get it. I think it ended up going, yes, it ended up going to 34 milliliters, which is fine. This is going to be about 2 to 3 servings on this chicken salad. It'll just depend on how much I can fit in my pita. And then we're going to add in some onion salt. And you can use whatever seasoning you want, but I wanted to kind of keep it plain. But I did want to add some everything but the bagel seasoning. I just thought that would be really good with the Caesar dressing. And then I'm going to do some of this Parmesan shaved cheese. I bought this a while back and never used it. And so I thought this will go perfect in here. So I'm just going to do a serving of this. So I'm doing a serving of all of these, but it will be split by 2 to 3 servings. I think when I tracked this, because I kind of pre-tracked my food this week, when I tracked this, I just did it in 2 servings. So I actually think I will probably not do quite 2 servings. But anyway, I did 1 serving of the cheese. And then I have some celery and some red onion here that I'm just going to add in. And then we're going to give it a good stir. And here is what that looks like. And at this point, you want to give it a taste. See if you need more seasoning or do you need any more dressing. Now, I personally make my chicken salad a little bit drier because I do tend to notice as it sits, it gets a little bit wetter. Now, I'll be using these heart-friendly Joseph pitas. These are less in carbs than the regular Joseph pitas. So just check the back and you'll see these ones are a little bit lower in carb and lower in calories. Next up for a snack this week, I'm going to make some Jell-O with strawberries. So we have some sugar-free strawberry Jell-O. I already have my strawberries. Now each of these will be 2 servings. So we'll have 4 servings of Jell-O. And you just make the Jell-O same per usual. You're going to use 2 cups of boiling water here. And you're going to stir that until it dissolves. You can use whatever kind of Jell-O, of course you want, whatever kind of fruit. I don't know, for some reason I was like craving Jell-O, and I don't know why, because I never like crave Jell-O, but it just sounded really good. I think maybe because, you know, I know it's getting closer to summertime, even though our weather here is super yucky and rainy, but you know, it's just that time of year where things like Jell-O sound good. And then add in 2 cups of cold water. And then as you'll see, when I start pouring this, I'm going to make a mess. But you know, what is a meal prep video without me making a little bit of a mess? It's because these Pyrex measuring cups, they have the smallest little spout. And you have to like pour it so slowly to not make a mess. Like, I have no patience for that. So I'm just going to pour this over the fruit. And like I said, I'm just going to split this into 2 servings to have this as a dessert or a snack or whatnot. So just gonna put this in the fridge, and this will be a nice, yummy, easy snack that'll be super low calorie and all of that. And another snack I'm having this week, I have my everything hummus. I love this stuff. I get it from Walmart. And then some cucumbers, carrots, and celery. And then some of the other snacks I'm gonna have this week, I have the Built Bars. I have some brownie Prime Bites protein brownies, and then I have some Greek yogurts, and those will kind of round out my snacks for the week. And there you go, guys. Thank you guys, as always, for taking time to click on my videos. I appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which should be a what I eat in a day video, and I'll try to film 2 or 3 days this week of my meals, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.